and House of States. Good afternoon, Tom. Hello. So, what week is it now? I've lost track of... Hello, Theatre Nerd magazine. I've lost track of... I think we're Thursday. It's 5 o'clock. I know this to be fact. But, yeah, it's been a few weeks now. A very, very odd and confusing time. But there's lots of vibrant theatre that's beginning online, and I've certainly not stopped working this day, that day, what day exactly. And I've just recently started, throughout this whole Easter holiday break, I've been putting together loads and loads of resources for my students. We start back Tuesday, but lots of emails today, so it's all beginning. And hello, Theatre Nerd magazine. How's that going? So we've got hello, Darren. Let me just see what this question is first of all. I can't get it to work. We'll go with Darren. Hello, Darren. Are you a theatre teacher? Yes, I am. I am a theatre teacher. Indeed. Been doing it for 18 years, head of drama. Hello, Darren.
Hi, Natalie. Here we
I
go.
can hear you perfectly. What mug have you got today?
It's my Whitstable Ladies.
Oh, the Whitstable Ladies.
I got it when I was in Whitstable, the beginning of the year. It's got this little man in the middle there.
Oh,
yeah.
Has everyone else
nice
got
bone
them?
china mug. Sorry?
I'm just wondering if everyone else has got a cup of tea ready. I've got my oh, you can't actually see it that way round, but oh God, that's absolutely useless. It's my Hamilton mug.
Oh, well done.
Yes. This has been at school since we left, and then I had to sneak into school to go and get a whole load of resources because I didn't have
Including your mug, yeah.
certain folders. And then I was like, oh, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to bring home loads of plays. Hello, my little brother's just joined, yeah, Hamilton, yeah, indeed. So I was like, oh, I'm going to bring that home. It's really lovely, but I need to keep remembering not to put it in the dishwasher because it's got all the glitz and the sparkle. So
hello,
everybody. Welcome to Theatre Audience Podcast. It's live at 5, and I'm joined by Darren Lee Murphy, producer extraordinaire. And... oh, have you got your Earl Grey, darling?
Yeah, it's my Earl Grey, you know.
Lovely.
But no cake today.
No cake?
No, I've run out, and I've not gone to the supermarket for a few days, so I'm going to get some tomorrow.
We're 4 days into a Colin the Caterpillar, because it was, yeah, sounds a bit odd. I'm like, a cup of tea and some Colin. And it was like, a bit odd. But, yeah, no, it was my hubby's birthday on Sunday. So you know how you kind of like just chip slowly away at the rations. So it's like,
But it's a nice long, thick one, isn't it? Just that you like, I hear, yeah?
Yeah, so quite nice. Seeing as we didn't really, I think we had 2 small mini egg Easter eggs and that was it. Because we just didn't, I mean, it's bad enough trying to get a hold of eggs, but there didn't seem to be many. Someone said bake a cake. Yeah, I would be able to if I had some eggs.
Buffering.
Although I'm sure there's cakes you can bake without eggs, but...
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, there's the vegan cakes and stuff. There's a massive cookbook selection of that kind of thing now. But yeah, and yeah. So as Andy says, yeah, I will bake a cake. In fact, I actually have a cake mix in the cupboard, a Betty Crocker carrot cake. Yeah, so I might actually throw that together tomorrow.
That sounds nice. Oh, I like that.
Well, I made a chocolate cake a couple of weeks ago, which lasted me about 4 or 5 days, and it was bloody beautiful, if I don't mind saying so myself, with the chocolate icing and everything. So
you missed that then.
Very nice. Yeah, actually, I think I had a slice when we was on last week. Right? I don't know. I don't remember now. But yeah, no, maybe baking the cake is the way forward. Yeah, now I can get flour and eggs.
Yeah, I haven't got any eggs. The nearest we got to doing anything like that was creating our own digestive chocolate biscuits. We took some biscuits, we got some Nutella, spread it on top, and then stuck them in the freezer. Worked a treat. Yeah, they're a bit. They weren't very good.
You're probably best off just melting a bar of chocolate
Yeah.
then just pouring that on top and letting it set naturally.
Yeah, or just walking up the road to the
M&S
and covering up your face. And
inventive. Not like you've got other things on your plate to be up to. I've just come in from the garden. I've done the front garden. It's a mess, complete mess. And in the small block of flats I live in, none of the other residents are doing anything. So I thought, well,
is it a communal garden?
Yeah, but the thing is, I overlook it, and it's nice. So in the real background, I can see Crystal Palace Park, but like literally below me is the car park and the bushes and stuff. So I've been basically cutting down trees and cutting down ivy. So I've been very masculine today. So yeah,
proactive
and proactive.
The male of the building. Although gardening,
and building up
can
some
be
muscle work as well. So yeah, it's good.
Gardening is for all. Don't want to upset anyone. 74 Jan, she's come in from the balcony looking red, she says.
Oh no, that's not good. Put some sun cream on.
Yeah.
No,
it's one of those days because it's cloudy. I mean, you and I,
overcast.
We understand our tanning, don't we?
Yeah.
But, today's a perfect day for tanning because it's got that cloud cover. It doesn't feel so hot on the skin, but actually,
it's there. Yeah.
Obviously, in your own garden, you can do what you want.
I would have done the gardening top list, but I thought some of the residents might be opposed to that. So it's like, I don't want to be known as the neighbour that gets his torso out at any opportunity. So
I've got a friend of mine. I won't say who he is. He's an actor, but he's been posting some stuff on the internet where he's been going out and doing a good workout, like weights, bench, like proper workout in his communal garden, and his neighbour just keeps walking into his, like right outside his door, and kind of like standing and watching him in a really kind of quite
creepy way.
Yeah, and then like just picking up his weights and having a go. That's not on.
Okay, that's
so he did a little poll that he put on his Insta story, and it was like, do I A do I B or do I? And then it was quite, and it was because he's getting quite annoyed, understandably, because you're trapped in your home. But a communal garden, yes, I understand that everyone's got to be, and someone else had posted and said that when they go out with their kids, the other person kind of goes in. They're kind of taking it in turns, kind of thing, just so that I guess you get a bit of privacy and a little bit of
yeah. And my friend Amanda, she does that. She her flats, there's only 2 of them, but she has turns in the garden. But I'm lucky, I've got a big garden in the back and it backs onto the park. So yesterday I walked around into the park and I had a nice walk and I did something really naughty. I sat on a bench.
Oh my God, that's sunbathing.
And I did some reading. Allowed. I know, and I did some reading by the lake. It's a beautiful big lake. It's a swim lake. But at the minute, obviously, no one's swimming. But yeah, it's
it's quite funny. A helicopter. I was sunbathing in the garden. Helicopter went over, and I was like, I'm going to go in just in case I end up on the news as the one person that's, and they're doing one of those kind of like everyone's indoors, and it's like me going, yeah, just loving this, reading The Tempest in the sun. Hello, Shalano.
What have you seen this week, theatre-wise? Have you seen anything? I saw Fleabag.
So I actually went to the theatre and they were all on. No one told it. No,
if only. Yeah, I turned up in the West End. Yeah,
it was just me. I was just on the stage myself, just reciting soliloquies from the past. Treading the boards on my own. No audience.
Break into the Wanamaker and just get a candle and just stick it under your face like you do on the stage and just start talking out loud.
What have I seen? Well, you and I sat down in our separate lounges.
Yeah.
Was it Saturday?
Saturday night. Yeah.
So we sat down on Saturday and we saw Jesus
Christ Superstar.
Indeed. Very, sort of good timing for Easter. Oh, we know what's coming next.
Phantom. We're seeing it tomorrow night. Yeah. Tomorrow night. Yeah. 7 o'clock. Yeah.
I want to be there at the opening night, not second night.
I might affix a chandelier up on my low ceiling here, and so it can collapse at that climax. The climax scene in the film. So I can, just bring the chandelier down like it does on the stage. And obviously,
I'm planning, and Gary doesn't know this, but I'm planning on doing a sing-along version. I'll be singing along. and I'll be expecting him to go and sit at the piano and play at the same, at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have an interval. We'll have an interval chat, and like we did last time. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll work out actually what because it seems to be kind of continuous and not actually breaking or even showing you that it's the crescendo. Listeners.
We can find our own one.
Yeah, so I'll work out what the song is that is the end of Act 1, and then we'll
work it out. No, I'm excited. It's I spoke to a friend in the week, and he's excited about seeing it because he's not seen it on stage. And I was like, no, even if you do see it this weekend, you need to go and see it on stage. It's one of the best extravaganzas of theatre, I think, especially the scene with the chandelier in there. And the voices are incredible. Yeah. Oh, come on, everybody.
Oh, come on, now we all know.
Stories like
but I loved it. I took it's about 3 years ago. I took the whole of Year 9 to see about 120 kids to see Phantom of the Opera. Maybe it wasn't the best thing to take them to, but I was. This was my thought process. Yeah, I still haven't seen Phantom. It's something that I should have seen as a drama teacher of 18 years. This is something that I should have seen at the theatre. I've seen it on video, but I was like, this is something that I should have seen. So I shall book it as a theatre trip with the students. So I did that. And actually, they were really, really engaged with it. But I think much better choice this year when I took the Year 9 to see Come From Away. Much
that's beautiful, I think. That's a beautiful musical. Not much happens, but it doesn't matter. It's the nice music and the good performances. But it's a great ensemble piece. It's probably the best ensemble musical in the West End, I think.
It's also absolutely, I think the great thing about taking students as well is there is no interval. So it's literally straight through, back on the coach, boom. And they don't lose, because sometimes they kind of lose that focus when they go into the second half of something that's quite, hard going. But the other thing as well is that, one day, obviously we don't want this day to ever come, but one day when it's no longer on in the West End and you can get the rights to it as a performance, I'd love to direct it as a sixth form show, because it really would be quite cheap to do in terms of set. Just a whole
it's just a few great trees, really, isn't it? And a few chairs. That's what they have.
Interesting backdrop. And then, obviously you'd have to have pretty good musicians to be able to perform it on stage. But really, really love Come From Away. Seen that twice. So we saw Jesus. We're going to see Phantom.
I saw Fleabag in the week.
Oh, you saw. Yeah. When did you watch that?
Soho Theatre website. They're doing it for charity. So basically, you pay what you want. It's a minimum £4 up to 200, whatever you want to pay. And proceeds go to various charities. It's broken down. So that's really cool. And if you haven't seen it, I'd really recommend it. Obviously Phoebe's written now Killing Eve, the new Bond film that's about to come out when it does come out. An incredible talented writer and a wonderful actress. Definitely worth watching. And even on screen, it's worth it because she's in one position pretty much the whole time. And so there's no set or anything as such. But it's very funny. It's very dark. There's a lot of darkness to it. I'm not sure how much of it is true life. But obviously from this monologue, the stage version is what turned into the TV show. So the characters from the TV version are in this. And you get a sense of who they are. So if you've seen the TV version, definitely watch the stage version, and you'd understand. It's that's referred to.
I love the TV, and then I think I reported on the Fleabag live early on. So this was at the end of last year. So this was probably episode 3 or 4, I think. Okay. It was really early doors. And my friend and colleague Charlotte, she was desperate to see it, and we just couldn't get. It was really difficult to get hold of tickets for that. Hello, everybody that's just joined us. And then she went to the National Theatre Live, and she loved it. So she did a little commentary on that. So I will actually. That's something I'll do. Is that on the Soho Theatre website? How long for?
Oh, it's on the Soho
Theatre seems
website.
To be releasing things.
Well, I think it's going to be short term because they've got other stuff they want to put on there. And to be fair, what's coming up is some really nice stuff. Obviously, if you like comedy and cabaret, then Soho Theatre is your main call on. But
I love the Soho Theatre. Seeing so many cool little bits and bobs there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. I mean, like, definitely worth watching. But theatre-wise, that's all I've done this week. Seen a lot of films. I don't know if I told you this last time, but I wanted to start the Marvel films from the very first story. So not the first film that's released, but the first in the story. So starting with Captain America and going through there. So Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and then it goes on from that. So they're not in the order of them being released.
Right.
But they're in telling the story. And it's funny watching. I've seen them all before, but watching them from the beginning again, and you're like, so you see those setups and stuff that it follows through.
Beginning to see the kind of
really exciting. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's one of my things. I'm doing one a day at the minute, which is, you know, it's keeping me busy and stuff and things. But
what did you see? Oh, we watched. So this is great. So did you see Quiz the last 3 nights at 9 o'clock?
No. So I want to watch it in one go. So it's now finished, isn't it?
It's finished now. Yeah. So it was an hour. And it was brilliant. We saw. So I think this was about 2 years ago. We saw the play Quiz.
Yeah, on the West End.
That was in the West End, and it was brilliant. I didn't know what to expect. I was slightly disappointed that I didn't have the seats that were sat on stage. I always do, like, you know how I like a bit of immersive theatre, and it was a bit like, I want to be sat there. It was a bit like Witness for the Prosecution. It was like, we're in the balcony. Who put these tickets on this theatre trip for the school? But no, Quiz was really good in the theatre, really snappy, really funny, and obviously, you know, really great impersonation of Chris Tarrant. So that was really good. So that's highly recommended. I know we're talking more about theatre than film, but it's difficult at the moment because you're kind of just picking up whatever's on.
Absolutely.
And Tom says Flowers for Mrs. Harris from Chichester Festival was really lovely and well worth a watch. Thank you
that's
for that.
That's online. That's online. You can see that now. That's one of the ones that he's actually on. Definitely. And Jane Eyre. There's a few actually that I might pick up on.
I actually can't remember what's on tonight. National Theatre. I can't remember what it is. Someone tell me. Someone knows. Someone can look it up. If I look it up, then we'll lose connection.
Look at this. There was that. I don't remember what it is either. But
Treasure Island.
Oh, okay. What, the
That's
National
why
Theatre's
I think
version?
I kind of went, okay. Treasure Island. Okay. But I tell you what is being streamed at the moment is Frantic Assembly, one of my favourite theatre companies. They say sorry, we've taken a while, but they have now launched their Frantic Digital, and they're releasing different things each day, workshops, ideas. I think they're thinking more about drama teachers as well, and ideas of online and things like that, and resources. I mean, I've seen pretty much everything they've done live over the last 25 years, but a lot of their stuff is on Digital Theatre Plus anyway, which I subscribe to. So I think most of the stuff that they're throwing out on this Frantic Digital, I'm already able to access anyway, and so have done so. But those things are definitely recommended. And then Wise Children,
that's up now. So that I think I got an email alert about that yesterday. I saw that. I managed to see it at the Old Vic when it was on. It's Emma Rice is a genius at that, but it's I just love the way they play with like puppets and kids and adults, and they mix it all around, and it's okay. A little bit confusing, to be fair, in some respects. When you have to kind of like take a little time to establish who that character is and stuff, but
because sometimes they switch, different actors then play the different roles in different scenarios.
It's almost too clever when it didn't need to be that. So
it's one of my favourite things that I have ever seen. And Gareth Snook, I love Gareth. He was also in Romantics Anonymous that I travelled to Bristol Old Vic to go and see. And that sadly, obviously, it literally just arrived in the States, and then obviously they all just flew straight back. Awful. But I mean that production, Wise Children, just the set, just everything, just like you say, the playing and the story, and then there's a song at the end, and I think the line is something like, oh, what a joy it is to dance and sing, and it just literally, it was such a joyful moment at the end, and I'm sat there and I'm smiling. Carrie looked at me, and I literally, there's just tears just all dripping off my face, and I was just like, absolutely, in that moment, I loved it.
Yeah, definitely worth watching. So if anyone is interested, it's just,
I do though sometimes. I said this to you last time, didn't I? About, I think we spoke last week, and I said, oh, Disappearing Number, one of the most beautiful pieces that I saw by Complicité, like over a decade ago, is on Digital Theatre Plus. But I'm reluctant to watch it just because in my memory it's just such a beautiful thing, and it's actually quite weird now, because obviously as teachers we're being asked to go back now and assess students for things that they've done in front of an examiner, and so, you know, and I'm now like watching things back on video, and things on video are never quite the same as they are when you're in that environment watching it. You know, You're Coming Clean, for example, part of the whole thing for me is the intimacy of Trafalgar Studios, and just sitting there, and you know, the person next to you, and they're laughing, their shoulders moving next to you, the bench is wobbling, and it's that communal feel. And I said that to you, I think, when we did our little post-show talk after Jesus Christ Superstar. I was like, oh, this is lovely, but actually all it does is make me go, and I really want to go to the theatre and see things in the theatre again, because it's not the same.
Not long. I mean, the thing is, like, again, going back to the theatre side of it, it's like we don't know when it's going to all kick back in. And the thing is, like, I know some producers in the big houses talking about ways of kind of bringing in audiences when the time's right. And I know one of the shows, I won't name names because I don't want to put the person in the position, but when they go back, it'll be 4 shows a week instead of 8, and it would be, each row would be alternate, so there'd be an empty row of people. But my argument to that was, well, what, is someone going to like clean the seats every night? Is, you know, like, I mean, if this whole thing is about things that you touch and stuff, how is that really going to work?
When you go to the bar,
when, I mean, they've been given a time that it'd be the end of June, and realistically, I don't know. I mean, who knows? We just have to kind of like be in the moment, live in the moment, appreciate what we have now.
I think we've just got to be like Play-Doh, haven't we? We've just got to be quite malleable and just go with the flow. And
absolutely.
I mean, literally, we've just got our head around teaching online, and then all of a sudden people are like, yeah, schools will be back. It's like, oh my God, we'll be on the front line, and children sneezing in your face, you know, and I think just as we get our heads around teaching online, we'll be back in the classroom, and we'll be working again to work out what the hell we're now doing in a classroom. And then it's like, well, what will you do in a drama classroom? I mean, seriously, you know, you can't, we're all doing monologues.
What's the jazz hand?
In the corridor. We're going to have 5 people in the corridor. You're going to shout really loud through the door and the window. You're going to be outside the windows because you coughed. It's really, you know, I don't know. But I know, what was it? I'm not sure which airline it was, but someone announced this morning that when they do start flights, they'll be leaving.
It was EasyJet.
Was it a seat free in between?
But again,
so I suppose
listen, these buildings and these airplanes are air conditioned. If someone's got, like, you know what it's like, it all circulates. I don't know how any of this is going to work. But anyway, we're talking about theatre, not about COVID-19. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about actually is a new venture. I had a chat yesterday on Insta Live with Jodie Prenger, and who's a really good friend of mine. I love her dearly. And she set up this initiative to help performers. It's called Vocal Home. So on here, it's vocal_home. And the idea is
on Insta,
it's on Insta. It's a hub for performers to basically present what they do best, whether it's vocal or performance, like acting, coaching, that kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
And they basically have half-hour slots, like workshop slots.
Okay.
Via, you know, what they can do via like this, really. And it's to help raise money for them, to obviously give them some form of income, but also for the charity Acting for Others. Which is a really, really cool charity that supports performers everywhere, really, not just in London. But so that's that. So I wanted to give a big shout out to that. So it's vocal_home. Definitely worthwhile checking out. And there's always, you know, looking for other performers to kind of join on the platform, and just go and have a look and subscribe to it. And then, rent a vocalist for half an hour and perfect your
and
vocal
has
skills.
she set that up as a result of this? It didn't
Yeah,
exist before.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It was set up to help performers make some money whilst they're not performing. So, and it's not expensive. I think it's like £18,
okay,
which is very cheap for the expertise of some of these people. But at the same time, you know, it's just some people want something to do in the daytime. Yeah, I'm keeping myself busy. I've got a kind of routine now with my meditation, yoga, and stuff, and now the garden.
yes.
But other
I've
people,
ordered some plant seed. I've ordered some plant seed for the pot. I keep looking at these 2 pots, and I'm like, these pots are annoying me now. So
yeah, plant some seeds.
Got some seeds.
Yeah, no, that's I'm looking forward to that outside getting planted properly. But no, just performers. If you want to perfect some skills with your vocal while we got time,
really
do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's perfect opportunity. This time is about opportunities.
Yeah. Well, shall I tell you what I've been doing? So on the last 2 podcasts that have been during the lockdown, they were kind of like more, I kind of changed it to a kind of magazine feel. So it was like, right, digital theatre's doing this. This is what's happening this week, blah, blah, blah. This person's popped up online. Here's someone singing, blah, 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 bits and bobs. And the odd phone interview. But my recent one, I've been doing, you can't actually see because it'll come out back to front on the video in it. But
turn it around.
Well, I've been basically, obviously, using all my books, every book I have on Shakespeare, and believe you me, there's a lot. And so I have created my theatre teaching Trapped During Quarantine series. So we've started with Trapped Teaching Tempest. And so basically, I've done a little plot summary of what goes on, because it's basically one of the set texts. It's on a couple of different exam boards, GCSE and A-level. And my students are doing this for the exam. And I've got about 13 different actors involved. So they've all been allocated different characters, or they've chosen characters, or specifically asked them for specific characters. And then they have recorded for me a monologue, and then they've recorded, or I've done a little interview with them, a little commentary on the characters. So later on today, probably around about 7 o'clock, I will release episode 23, which is my Trapped Teaching Tempest podcast. And on this particular one, we've got, so what's quite nice is a couple of the voices, the actors who are lending me their expertise, are ex-pupils of mine from yesteryear. So we've got Tom Dickerson, who was an A-level drama student of mine, and he was on Book of Mormon when the lockdown happened. So he's a recent graduate, and we spoke on an episode, I think soon after our first one where we chatted. So he's done a little bit of Ariel for me. I've got Mark Holden, who was playing James Morse in Pretty Woman at the Piccadilly Theatre. So he's done Caliban for me, and he's kind of doing a sonnet a day. He's doing like a sonnet a day on his Insta page to keep him going. So he recorded that for me, and we did an interview. So I've kind of snipped it in half. Half was on a previous episode, I think episode 20, and then half of it on here, where he's really talking about how you prepare mentally and physically and vocally for a role.
You should get them on here. Get them on here to chat and let them do it.
Yeah, could do.
On camera.
And then who else? I've got another ex-pupil, Jess Kambitsis. She's literally just graduated from Rose Bruford. So it's quite nice for them as a little showcase of monologues that they know or that they like, or just something to do, just to keep going with their vocal. And also to think it through. And then also a friend of mine, Stephen Blake, we went to drama school together, and he did what did he do for me? Trinculo. So that was quite fun. So he did Trinculo for me, and he's been in sort of Amadeus.
What's that music in the background?
Yeah, it's gone a bit weird. I'm going to turn it off now. It's kind of, when it just switches.
I thought it was your son like playing some dodgy recorder or something.
Oh God, what, my 14-year-old who's not here at the moment. He's at his dad's. So that's better.
Oh, Chris said he loved Treasure Island. Maybe we should check it out then. Apparently,
loved Treasure Island at the National Theatre. The set itself was epic, and some lovely performances. Okay, Chris, Thank you. Well, we'll do that then. To be fair, actually, everything that I've seen recently, actually, probably everything I've ever seen at the National Theatre, I've pretty much enjoyed. You know.
No way. I'm sorry. That's not. It can't be true.
I've obviously not seen some of the things that you've seen.
I've walked out of shows at the National Theatre, and I never walk out of theatre.
What did you walk out of?
Oh God, I can't remember now. The last time was with a friend of mine, Bonnie, actually, and we both looked at each other and thought, we can't sit through this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so bad. We just went and had dinner.
Oh, really? I suppose it depends. It depends what that is.
But
no, recently I saw. I mean, it was epic because it was a 2-part in one day.
America.
What was that? And I interviewed Ben Turner. Oh, it was My Brilliant Friend. I saw that.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Manville. That was like that was beautiful. Whole day of theatre, like lunch in between, you know, coffee, have a little walk on the South Bank. It was gorgeous. And I did an interview with Ben Turner, who was in that. That was really good. And then before that, I saw Translation. And my friend Rufus was in that. We did a little interview on a previous episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I wasn't so keen on Amadeus. I love Amadeus. I saw an absolutely amazing Amadeus at the Old Vic about 10 years ago. But I don't know. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was quite high up. But you know, no. At the Olivier, no seat is a bad seat. To be fair, because it's so vast. It's so beautifully
wide.
open. It's wide. You get a great, you know, vista.
Can we?
I don't know. I just wasn't feeling that.
But that's what I find really interesting about theatre, the live experience, is that as we're both actors, okay, that's how we met each other many moons ago.
Long time ago.
I know, we were actors, and then basically, you know what it's like. You know, you do your bit, and you bring in a lot of what you had during the day. You can't just park it all, and that's the same as audience members. Whatever you've been through during the day, you can't just park it, you know, at the box office, and then, you know, and I do think that mood does influence how you experience something in theatre, and it can alter that. Like that's why I think it's interesting when you see.
But it can also be transformative, can't it? You've had a really bad day, and then you go and see something like Anne Juliet, and you're like, oh my god, it's like music, isn't it? You
absolutely.
put on a piece of music, and it can completely change your mood.
But that's what I find interesting about press night, which is why I usually watch every show I have press in, because I want to see what they've seen.
Yeah, on that
night. And it's interesting
yeah.
when, like, for the Times, for instance, gave Coming Clean 2 stars. It isn't a 2-star show.
God,
it is a 4-star show minimum. We got the odd 5-star.
I gave
it's
it
a 4-star show. I know you did, but it's worth it. The performances alone, and that's 2 stars. And you read his review, and he was just being sloppy and lazy. And the thing is, in some respects, I mean, I actually emailed Salt about the review because there was tones of homophobia in the writing, and I just thought, in this day and age, you've got to be kidding me. And this is the Times. I won't say the reviewer. You can find it if you look at it. I'm not going to say his name on here. But it was things like that. I just think, come on. I mean, whether he had a crap day or something, but you know, and
be fair. I mean, you know, if you think about it, it's whatever, you know, whatever you think of something, you can always find some. I mean, you said, you know, I've walked out.
Find the joy
stuff before, but you can, you know, you can find, and also you have to look around and go, this isn't about me. This is about. That's what my theatre audience podcast is about. It's about what, you know, who's going to go and see this? Why should you go and see this? It's about, you know, everyone is different. Everyone has different favourite films. Everyone's got different, you know, if we all like the same people, we'd all be trying to get into the same relationships. You know, it's like literally everyone's got their own views, but you have to kind of look around you. And I was there on press night and everyone was loving it. So you've got to think, is this me? And I have done that before. Don't get me wrong. I've sat and watched something. I'm not afraid to say it. Right, bat out of hell. Like, literally, no idea. I literally sat there and I was like, is everyone else watching the same show?
You didn't like it? You didn't like it?
bat out of hell.
Really? I mean, the thing is, I thought,
but I could appreciate the stage.
Yeah,
the stagecraft.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw it when it was at the Colosseum, but it's which is an incredible space. Anything in there is like just amazing. But I didn't like the book at all. I didn't get the story, but I did love the performances, and I did like the performers themselves, top notch. The setting, great fun.
Oh god, yeah.
But the songs, people buy tickets for the songs. They sing along. There were big fans there. Some of the songs I had no clue. But you had some guy next to me, like in a Meatloaf t-shirt, like just really getting into it. You go.
But that's the thing, though, and you know, sometimes you have to go. Well, okay, you know, I'm looking around. Everyone else is loving it.
Oh, thanks, so Tom.
It's obviously you know, just me. And also sometimes it can be to do with where you're sat. Sometimes I you know, I'm like, oh, like the minute you sit down, you're like, oh.
Can I tell you something, Natalie?
Or if you're behind someone.
There's an interesting thing, actually.
People tell us about your worst seating, where you've had the worst seating when you've been to the theatre. Yeah, go on, Darren.
But basically, I shouldn't really say this, actually, but they're not online or anything, so it's fine. Dealing with press on press night with seating allocations is a job in itself. It's like you got certain press members that won't sit near other press members, and you got certain press members that have to have a specific seat.
Really?
And, oh yes.
I can imagine that.
Yes. And you just think you're getting a free ticket for a show.
You've got other press members who are like, oh my god, what? I've got a copy of the play. Oh, and you've given me a free ticket and a glass of wine.
Yeah, exactly. You know, be bloody grateful. You know, that's coming out of my pocket.
Laugh out loud, because what's not to like? Do you know? Easily pleased.
But seriously, we get the oddest requests of seats, and it's funny because I had a real fight with my press officer, to be fair, at some point, because, as you know, in Draft 2, it's limited on seating, and we had a lot of press come to that, and there's certain press members that wanted specific seats, and we couldn't allocate. I mean, it was impossible. But I mean, we got through it and stuff, fine. But oh my god, it was interesting. And that's why I'm glad I don't deal with seating allocations.
And also as well, hello Harry, that's just joined. Also as well,
hello Katie.
You get kind of I don't know, and then someone will give you a bad review because you got put in one place and so-and-so got put front row or something.
But that happened. I know for a fact that Coming Clean, the first year I did it at TRAF, so in 2019, there was a blogger that we put in a certain seat, and it was only because we were full, and there was, you know, it wasn't a bad seat, but it was, and I know the review reflected where she was sitting. Absolutely. You read it and you're like, So yeah, seating is an interesting thing with regards to press night and stuff. And also that's why with things like when we did Opera Undone, we have 2 press nights because there's 2 casts. So they have to have like, you know, a chance to sit. But you send the cast list out to the press and they choose which one they want to come and see more. And that's basically what happens. But we'll see. Yeah.
Exciting times.
Well, yeah, but I'm looking forward to getting myself back there. Like, I was doing some paperwork yesterday, doing some, like, on Dropbox, just changing some folders around. And I found I've got a potential productions folder. And I've got a list of all these plays that have been sent to me or I'd like to do and stuff. And I was just flicking through and I thought, oh, my God, I forgot I had this type thing. So there's some interesting things that I really want to kind of do next year. I think this year, to be fair, my next production was actually going to be July, written off, then August, written off, one in September, written off, then November. So November may happen. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, at the minute, like all the theatres, I mean, obviously you're getting the email alerts as well, because you subscribe to so many, and they're just coming back and they're saying, look, our next show is going to be probably December.
Yeah, there's been a couple of casting announcements of pantomime. You're like, oh my god.
Well, I have to say, these pantomimes this year are going to have the best talent because they haven't worked all year and they want a
They're
job.
going to be like, I'm going to do a pantomime this year because it means I'm going to be working.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. But I said that to you, didn't I, last time we spoke, that I thought I was crazy back in December buying tickets for the Bridge Theatre in advance. I bought tickets for They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Which is in November. But now I'm like, yeah, that may actually be the first thing that I see when the theatre's open. So Ruben's put in the slips for the Inheritance for matinee and Eve show was challenging, craning my neck around the whole time.
Did you watch The Inheritance? Did you see it?
Me? No.
Yes.
Do you know what? I was going to see it when I was on...
Why not?
When I was on Broadway, I was going to see it. I missed it. I don't know. Sometimes the thing is, if things come up and I've got a lot of school stuff on.
Well, it was at the Young Vic, and then it went to West End. So it was worth watching. It was long, and some of it could have done with a bit of cutting, to be fair.
Yeah, I nearly saw it on Broadway, but I only had so many nights, and there were other things that I saw instead. But I wish now that I had seen To Kill a Mockingbird on Broadway.
Yeah, because we would have seen it here, and it's gone now. They won't come back. A couple of years,
because
maybe they reprogram it.
When I was stood there making decisions, I was like, well, we'll leave that one because I can see I can book now for it was going to be sort of spring summer, wasn't it? And it's like yeah. But yeah, I mean the slips, Ruben. Yeah, I mean it just depends on the theatre.
But a lot of these old Victorian theatres have dodgy seating.
Some of the slips are really good. So Hamilton, the first time I went, so I waited a year. Well, I didn't wait a year. That's the earliest I could get tickets. We sat in the matching box, which was the box at the back of the dress circle. It was brilliant, and you had waiter service and gin and tonic to the seat and ice cream for my son and your own toilet for 4 people. It was amazing. It was like the longest interval ever, but like enjoyable.
But
no queues.
But that theatre now has been purpose built inside, zero-wise, for audiences of today. So
yeah, exactly.
With these old ones, like the Criterion Theatre, so many bad seats in that space.
So I did my drama school showcase at the Criterion. It's a beautiful
stunning theatre. Yeah,
beautiful.
Lots of bad. Did you see the bank robbery?
Yeah, I've seen it about 3 or 4 times. That's a definite school theatre trip. That was like easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So many things for them to write about in their reviews, and funny. I preferred it to play where everything goes wrong, which for me it was a bit. The kids though, students love it. Teenagers love that. But the slips at Hamilton were really good. So the second time we went, we were in the slips. I can't remember if they were dress circle or even higher, but my son and I both got long legs, but we were kind of squished sideways, but we were literally, then the stage was right there. So the things that we didn't see up at the top when we were in the matching box, we really saw. And those tickets were like 20 quid, which was amazing. And we were saying, weren't we, what show we'd first, at the big shows, obviously, what show we'd first go and see when theatres reopen. And I think you said Anne Juliet, and I was like, yeah, I think I'd probably go and see Anne Juliet or Hamilton. But
just something to upbeat you and stuff, the story's really simple, it's easy, performances are great, music, every song, like every single song. So yeah, definitely that would be my first one. I got this glare of sunshine in my face, which I'm not moaning at because I love the sunshine, but it's kind of
but not when it's coming through a window. Hello, House of Berto.
Oh, hello.
Hello. So, other people, tell us any other theatre that you've seen that we've not yet touched on.
Yeah, come and go.
Digital theatre, we've got National Theatre. So we're thinking we may watch Treasure Island now. We weren't thinking of it before, but it's been recommended. Definitely on Frantic, they're showing different shows. They're going to be showing their Othello soon, actually, which is beautiful. Love that. Their Othello is really, really upbeat, and I say contemporary. I mean, this was about 10 years ago now, but it's set in on a council estate in Glasgow. And
why not?
Yeah, exactly. And it's more about gang warfare as opposed to the general in an army, and the majority of the scenes take place in a pub, and you've got the billiard tables kind of central.
Not anymore.
No,
social
not now.
distancing.
I know. And then most of the conferences between Emilia and Desdemona happen in like the ladies' loos, so it's quite it's quite different. Yeah, spoiler alert. How, you know, it's not a bedroom where she gets killed. So that's really, really good. So we've done national, we've done that. Obviously at 8 p.m. tonight, we must all be outside doing our biggest applause of the week for the NHS and key workers. Defo. So Jane Eyre, is that no longer being shown? I think they show things for 7 days and then the next thing gets released, isn't it?
It'll be interesting to see what Lloyd Webber puts on next weekend. Phantom,
yeah, because he's going chronologically, but he's skipping some out. Because we were looking at what we were like guessing what it might be next. So he's kind of like picking and choosing, but they've seen thus far they're in
the same order. Yeah.
In order.
Joseph and Jesus now. This one, it's the three out there. So. Yeah. Oh, Globe Player. What's Globe Player?
Oh, tell us more, Ruben. Is are they showing stuff,
Shakespeare,
or is that a question for us? Are you telling us or asking us?
Who knows?
Yeah. So there's more than enough going on. And to be fair, I mean, I literally have not had time. Like a lot of people on social media, they're like, I'm bored, and I'm like, literally, I'm now having the fear of going back to school because I've got all these online lessons. I'm having the fear 4 days early. It's really odd. I haven't even got through. Look, this one's still wrapped. This was my McKellen playing the part. I bought that soon after seeing the McKellen thing that he did at the end of last year. I got Dream Girls. It's just a sing along, isn't it? The Producers, and this was a little Amazon delivery, clearly, and that was not, and that's Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, beautiful film.
It's, there's a lot of factual inaccuracies. The people walking about are so incredibly clean, and they've got so much makeup on, and that just wouldn't have been the case. But I do love Shakespeare, and I do love Colin Firth. So that must be watched and enjoyed, definitely.
There was something I was going to say then. You actually brought it up.
Ian McKellen.
No, something else then. It was like, so did you get the email from the Old Vic? They're doing a Christmas Carol again this year.
Oh, are they? Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
So tickets start at the end of November. So I think they're aiming for that to be their maybe their main show for this year.
Right. Yeah. Well, they've done it the last few years, haven't they? In its same format, but different cast.
Yeah, and also
loved it.
Yeah, but different formation, staging formation as well, though.
I loved it. It was so immersive. We were right near the front. I got some last minute tickets, and then I did a stage door hover on that one, actually. And
a what?
A stage door hover.
Who did you hover for?
I literally stood there, and then I got 5 interviews. I had contact with the Old Vic bit last minute on the day. And then I got so Patterson Joseph, who was playing Scrooge. We had a lovely chat. He was absolutely adorable, and some great. Because I always ask actors for advice for young people who are looking to enter the profession. I spoke to little Lenny, who was playing Tiny Tim.
Yeah, he's cute.
Was so adorable. His voice on the podcast is so cute. So this was my Christmas edition. And then at the end, he left the theatre with his mum on his Segway to the station, like just going down. I was like, bye, Lenny. And he just went. It was so cute. I spoke to Rebecca Traherne.
Yeah, love her.
Who was starting in City of Angels. Literally, that had just started, hadn't it? And then
literally. And I had tickets. I had tickets for it. You had a ticket for it as well, didn't you?
I had tickets, but that weekend, before theatres closed, I felt rough. I had a sneeze, and at that point, sneezes were the cough, weren't they? And it was like And then it was like, oh my God, I've got it. This is it. This is the end. And I was like, I'm not going to go to the theatre. So I gave my tickets to my friend who went and absolutely loved it. But it was so frustrating because sometimes I book things last minute, spur of the moment thing. Other times I've booked them in advance. And those tickets I had booked way in advance.
No, I got mine last minute and I got them at a good deal as well. But sadly, it's still compared to go. Yeah. But I love Vanessa Williams, and I'm gutted.
I know.
I there to see
it was an amazing cast. The whole cast of that.
Vanessa Williams, like Ugly Betty.
Who else did I speak to? Stage door.
And sorry, Tom. Yes, Fun Home is going to be streamed live, not live, but as a recorded. Yeah.
That's good.
I liked Fun Home in New York. I wasn't overly keen on Fun Home in London. Is that controversial or?
I don't know. I hadn't seen it.
You see it? Okay, they're turning it into a movie, which I don't know how well that'll work. But it's
free performances on Globe Player, I believe, from Ruben. They had Hamlet last week, or week before. Oh, okay, good. And someone else, I can't see it. It's kind of gone up the screen. Watch Jesus Christ Superstar.
You can move the screen up and down.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, just put your finger on it and move it around.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And definitely French. It's definitely French.
Ooh.
Nothing else. Definitely French.
Definitely French.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
Hello, David. David, can I just do a big shout out to David Jackson, who's just joined us on this chat here. He does all my branding. Yeah, he's the posters are coming clean and stuff, opera undone. It's all his artwork. He's the creative behind it. So he's my creative director that works on my projects. And he's just revamped my website. So please check it out, makingproductions.com. And my new branding, my new logo and stuff, very excited. So there'll be new stuff coming through on my social media very soon as well. So big shout out to David. So anyone needs anything graphic design wise and motion wise, definitely your man. He does, the graphics for the Olivier's, the moving stuff, and obviously things for backdoor stuff. That's all him. So he does all that as well.
David, love that.
Yeah.
And Leon says hello. And you okay? You okay, Darren? I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. We've got the sun in my face, but other than that,
I'm good. Yeah. Like, oh, thanks, Daz.
Oh, he's a gem. I love him. He's a really cool guy. We get on really well. I mean, I think I'm one of his most challenging clients, as it were. But he puts up with me, and we have a good time together. But he's a genius, and I love what he does. So definitely worthwhile. But I'm looking forward to seeing Iron Man 2 this evening. That's where I am on my Marvel list.
I don't know what I'm going to watch this evening. I might do the Treasure Island, but I get a bit the 7 o'clock, and then you've got to go outside and do the clap, and then come back in. It's all a bit. When do you eat dinner?
The thing about it, doing stuff from home now is you can eat whilst you're watching stuff. So like even the theatre, like Jesus Christ, I was eating dinner. I mean, tonight I've got leftovers tonight from a veggie curry that I made the other day. So yeah, but my cooking skills are really coming on. This is another like win-win for like lockdown time. So when we can be free and roam the streets again, you'll have to come over for dinner. And,
definitely.
By then I would have perfected stuff. But yeah, I did a nice aubergine parmigiana yesterday.
Oh, I love
from complete scratch.
Can we just call it melanzana parmigiana? Just sorry, the Italian roots there, but yeah, I do. I love.
Yeah. So
do you know? I did think, because normally at Easter you have the Colombo cake, which is basically the Italian. It's like a panettone. Panettone is like that, but it's the Colombo one, which is amazing. It's in the shape of a dove for Easter, and it has all the bits of sugar.
Okay.
Big bits of sugar. So as a little girl, non si tocca, Natalie, my nonna, my grandmother, she used to do that, and I'd be like picking at all the bits of sugar. She'd come out and I'll be like, eating all the bits of sugar off it. I do miss that. That's something that just didn't happen this Easter, which is a shame.
Girl,
when you get Charlie back on, I need.
Who's Charlie?
Who's Charlie?
Yeah.
That's confusing.
Charlie who?
Charlie who? Charlie back on. Charlie.
What have you had Charlie on lately?
I spoke to you and Maddie. Yeah.
Okay.
No Charlie.
Well.
Who knows? That's just to throw us. We're like, who's Charlie?
Oh well.
Oh. Anyone else seen any good theatre or have any questions? Obviously, I need to just say once again that later on today, I'll be releasing the next Theatre Audience podcast, episode 23, my track to teaching the Tempest. It's very educational, this one, less entertaining. Gregory.
Oh.
Hi, Darren.
It's Keely. I've known Keely since I was 15.
Keely. I was thinking,
actually,
I can't see the pictures close up. I did think it's a very feminine looking Gregory, but you know, everyone's got all sorts of different.
No, and also, when we clap at 8 o'clock, she's one of the people we clap for because she's a key worker, and she works in a care home looking after our elderly. Bless her. She's a gem of a woman, Keely, heart of gold. I haven't seen her for a while, but I follow what she's up to on Facebook, on the Book of Face, as we say. With most people, that's how we are at the minute. But
yeah, it's been really, really lovely. Actually, I've had, whether it's been a live conversation or whether it's just chatting, I've spoken to so many people from the past. It has been, much as I've been busy and there's been podcasts and schoolwork and marking and things like that. I have actually reconnected with quite a few people that I hadn't spoken to for a while.
Yeah, me too,
so
on
that's been really, really nice to think about sort of the positives and to just catch up. And I think people are quite keen to do that, particularly if you know that someone's on their own. That's fine for a lot of the time, and then you kind of want human interaction. But I think equally, for people that are living with other people, sometimes you just want to chat to someone else because the other person has had enough of you talking at them.
Yeah, at them.
And so you're just like, I'm just going to talk to someone else now.
That's the preposition. Yeah, the right preposition at them. No, I live alone, as you know, so minimal interaction.
What happened to your 2 husbands?
Oh, they've moved on. Yeah, I've got rid of them. Yeah, looking for a third. So if anyone's interested,
I guess they were just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's sunny. I'm outside, so.
Yes, yeah, they're getting on my nerves. So yeah, but looking for husband number 3. If anyone's interested, just dial in, see what happens. Just be interested and passionate. Yeah.
We've got a countdown on the screen, which is quite exciting. It didn't do this before. It says 1 minute 44 remaining. So it means we can actually wrap it up this time rather than it just go like that.
I know.
That wasn't on there last time, or if it was, I was so carried away that I didn't.
So they only give you an hour now. Okay, fair enough. But
it goes pretty quick, doesn't it?
It does, but this has been fun. So we're going to chat tomorrow again, evening-wise for Phantom.
So we're watching Phantom of the Opera at 7have about 8. So I think probably
8:30. I think it's a long one, Phantom, isn't it? Yeah. Have a 10-minute.
It's a 2 hour. So anyway, we'll work it out. There'll be a little. We'll go Insta live in the middle of it and
hi, Andy,
and have a little chat. Great listen, guys, and have a fabulous evening. Thanks, Tom, for all your support. Tom wrote me the most beautiful review that I discovered. Although it didn't say Tom, but the fact that he said he was walking his dog. But it was a really lovely long review, and I was like, that's so nice, really nice. So if any of you listen to the podcast and you think it's all right, then give me a little review and pop onto Darren's new. Oh, stop it, Tom. Pop onto Darren's new website as well, and we're going to have a quick interval chat during Phantom tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then maybe a quick post-show.
Yeah, and then we'll be back next Thursday at 5:00 for some more theatre gossip.
Probably. It depends on if I'm being asked to deliver extracurricular online after lessons. But otherwise, yes, I think so, definitely. I might have to just move the time slightly.
Fine.
Might be live at 5:15.